Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? Alright, so the first of the 3 Code Geass compilation films was just released in Japan, and people on the internet are kind of going nuts at just how much they've changed from the original Code Geass series. Again, these are supposed to be recap films of the first 2 anime seasons leading up to the eventual release of the 3rd season, hopefully sometime next year. So it's kind of surprising to a lot of people that they've decided to change some of the events, or some of the details in those events that happened in the original first 2 seasons of the Code Geass series for these films. The first film is called Code Geass Lelouch of the Rebellion, The Awakening Path, and it covers basically the first third of the entire series. So let's go through exactly what they've changed in the story, and you tell me at the end if you think these are acceptable changes or not. So the first change is right after Lelouch accepted the contract with CC. He has a line where he says something along the lines of, "The only people who should kill are those who are prepared to die themselves." In the film, instead of saying all of that, he just says a simple thank you. I guess it makes a little more sense to not have Lelouch immediately recognize just how powerful his Geass is, and to spout an arrogant line moments after he gets his powers for the first time. But this one really surprised people, as it's the first time we get to see a different side of Lelouch, and it's definitely one of the more memorable scenes at the beginning of Code Geass. Next up is the Jeremiah purge scene being cut from the compilation film, which apparently upset a lot of people. Basically, it's a scene where Jeremiah was called Orange-kun by Lelouch, and shortly after, getting Geass by Lelouch to force him to assist in Suzaku's rescue. This one was actually one of my favorite scenes from Season 1, seeing the fall of Jeremiah's character, but having it cut here would mean that they're probably not going to develop his character in the following films, which is very disappointing, seeing how Orange-kun is definitely one of my favorite characters in the show. Apparently, Lancelot in the Shinjuku incident was also much cooler in the movie than in the original anime, whatever that means, but I guess with an anime film budget, the fight scenes are definitely going to be much more visually appealing to watch than the anime ones. The Saitama incident from, I believe, episode 7 and the Narita battle from episode 11 were also both completely cut from the movie. The Refrain Factory battle was also cut, which was originally made to develop Callan's backstory with her biological mother being a refrain addict. The backstory for Callan here isn't super important to develop her motivations, so I can understand this one. So next up is the meeting with Taizo Kirihara, who is the old man who founded the Kirihara Industries and the leader of the Kyoto House. The meeting between Kirihara and Zero was changed to a different place, and apparently this was a huge surprise to the audience. This change doesn't sound really big at first, but if this means that they met under different circumstances, this would be pretty big. But for now, it was only mentioned that they met at a different place, so let's just leave it at that for now. Next up is a huge one, and probably one of the most controversial changes to the film. In the original anime, Shirley shot Valletta to protect Lelouch. This scene really cemented just how far Shirley is willing to go out of her love for Lelouch, and pretty much built up her story arc towards her eventual demise. But in the movie, in the same scene where Valletta is about to get Lelouch, Diethard was the one to shoot Valletta instead. WTF. Does this mean they're not going to explore Shirley's character as deep in the compilation films? Certainly looks like it, but why did they get Diethard to do it instead? I mean, what does this bring to Diethard's character that we didn't know of before? So many questions, but I guess we'll have to watch all 3 of the films to know why they made these decisions. Mao was also completely cut from the film, so you're not going to see any of him to develop more of CC's backstory. I'm kind of on the fence for this one. On one hand, I didn't exactly like Mao's character, but it did show us a side of Lelouch that we haven't seen before, and really helped with showing us more of Lelouch's human side and how he dealt with Shirley. Oh, and the fan favorite scene of Valletta waking up in Nogi's bed, also cut. So that's pretty much most of the changes. The movie goes up to about when Suzaku's true identity as the Prime Minister's son was revealed, and we're going to get the next movie pretty soon in February of 2018, and the last one in May 2018. People's initial reactions were pretty much like, "This is not the same thing. Why is this not the same?" Or, "This changes everything." Needless to say, lots of people were not exactly happy to see so many changes to the classic Code Geass story, and also that so much was cut out of it. But keep in mind, this is a movie, of course they can't include everything that was in the anime. And do you really want to watch something that just cuts bits and pieces from the original anime without adding any new changes? To make the pacing work in a movie format is going to require some changes, but the big question is, are you okay with these changes? So as usual, let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up, stay subscribed if you want to be updated with the latest that's going on in Japan, and I'll see you guys in the next one.